Hey everybody, welcome back. This video is going to be a review of the JY018 pocket drone, supposedly by JY018. I could very easily be saying that wrong. This little guy cost me about $28 and some change on gearbest.com. I will put a link in the description. I've had it out, I've had it running. This is basically for you guys to see an unboxing and how it comes packaged, get a review of what it looks like, how it's made, how it feels, more in depth than probably some of the other review videos have done before. So, key features of this one, I got this particular model because supposedly it has a 2 megapixel camera, which is 1920 by 1080. The other option, which most of them seem to have, or so they say, is a 0.3 megapixel camera. Well, gee, I wanted the better camera, so I decided to go with this one. And it turns out, I didn't check the video resolution, but I believe it is 1080, but it's not the quality that you would get, say, even from a laptop built-in webcam. But it's not bad, and it's definitely not smooth. I'd say it's probably around 20 to 22 frames a second. I'll have to put it on the computer and check it for real. But the still photos do register in at 1920 by 1080. But again, their quality is not great. But let's have a look at this thing and see what we've got going with it. So we have on the back foldable adjustable camera, which goes from essentially straight, like it shows, facing down at about a 45-degree angle or so. Again, the app on your cell phone is completely Wi-Fi controlled. And key thing about this, the app that controls the drone, if you're on Android, will only work up to Android Nougat, so that's 7 point whatever. I have a Nexus 6P that has Nougat, and I have a Google Pixel XL, which has Developer Preview 4 for Android 8. It does not work on Android 8. There are several out there that, so they're all pretty much exactly the same for the most part. It just depends on if the developer updated it or not. But a couple of them will simply force close. They won't work at all. And some will open. You can connect to the drone with Wi-Fi, but you can't control it. The buttons and the sliders and all that, they do nothing. So if you want your full compatibility, stick with Android Nougat if you have a choice. I've reached out to a couple developers to see if they're willing to update the apps to work with Nougat or work with Android 8 or not. No responses yet, but that's something to keep in mind if you have an unlocked device such as the Google Pixel, the Nexus 6P, something like that. So let's get into this and show you how it was packaged. So pretty decent. It's kind of a textured box. It is really firm. I mean, it's something in here is well put together. Okay. So it comes with a little spacer, piece of plastic on the top. This is some very thick, dense foam here, which does a great job of keeping the drone in place. And if you'll notice real quick, these cutouts, that's because the blades for the, I believe it's the front, I'll tell you here in a second. I'm sorry, the blades for the back, they do stick out just a little bit. So it's not completely slick all the way down. And there's really nothing you can do about it. No matter how you try to fold them in, they're going to stick out a little bit. But it's okay. The top, pretty much all of the top area is a nice kind of light rubber coated feeling. Clickable power button. These are a very soft rubber that lights up when the drone is powered on, along with the back here. And I will point out that this was my mistake, but I'm going to do this because it kind of helps you guys learn as well. This plastic body, do not use, obviously don't use Goo Gone, Goof Off, whatever, if you clean the body. In fact, don't even use isopropyl alcohol. This is what it does. This is what your plastic should look like. Now obviously it's a little dirty because that's just kind of the way it came when I took it out. But it does this stuff. It leaves streaks, it kind of discolors and takes away from the body. You see what it did back here. Yeah, it's not pretty. But, you know, lesson learned, let me destroy mine so you don't do it to yours. Basically just use a microfiber towel or a cotton cloth and a little bit of water. That's all you really want to use on this. Don't drip water on it, put water on the cloth, and then wipe it. You don't want it getting inside. This thing is not waterproof. So, get to this guy here in a second. See what else is in the box. They give you a USB-A, which is non-reversible in this case. Some are. I had one before that I actually returned that is reversible, but this particular one's not. And this side connects to the battery. Focus. Thank you. 4 spare props, and they are color-coded specifically, and they do have numbers, by the way. I don't know if you can see that here. That says B2, that's B1, and they'll be labeled on here as well. They have to go in a specific spot. And a, I want to say steel, probably, prop removal tool. So, in this bag, we have a extremely broken English user manual, but it does come with a lot of pictures, which is kind of nice. For the most part, you can figure out what it means. I tell you, if you literally tried to read the English in it, you'd be completely lost. It's terrible. But the pictures really do help. But you can get the general idea. I'm not going to go over all of this. I didn't even read all the way through it. I think I watched a few YouTube videos, and this was pretty easy to understand. So under this plastic case, and that's the end of what's in the box, is a mesh bag, and that is meant for carrying the drone. And then it has a pull top to it with a spring-loaded ball and stays shut. It won't really keep the dirt off of it, but it'll keep the scratches off of it. And it'll give it a little bit of padding. There's not a whole lot of protection here. But I guess it's just kind of like a little convenience thing. So, let's pull the battery. Oh, actually, let's pull the props out real quick. And this thing is super, super light. I mean, absolutely ridiculously light. In fact, let me show you here once I get this out. My portable USB battery pack here that I use, or actually will be using, I should say, to charge the battery when I'm not like near the computer. I just slip this in my pocket. Between the two here, the battery pack is easily twice as heavy, maybe a little bit more, than this entire drone with the battery. I mean, this thing is super light. Almost feels like you could break it, but to be honest, I don't think it would be quite that easy, even though it looks like it. Props are a little flimsy. I wouldn't say they're the highest quality, even for a cheap knockoff, but they do feel like they would hold up fairly well. The arms are pretty solid, despite looking like you know, they should break just by looking at them. The top here, let's see if I can get this on, is not the strongest. The rest of the body, like back here, in line with the screws, that's pretty solid, but yeah, this isn't the greatest. Let's see. Oh, foam feet. They're not super thick, but they are. So you can tell if you hit plastic. Foam feet. It's not really going to protect it like stands would, but they'll work. And mind you, this is not waterproof, so really you don't want to fly it in a lot of dust, around water. If it lands in a puddle, you're pretty much done. If you fly it out in the rain, chances are you're done. On the top, really the only place water can get in is around here, is around the power button, and your circuit board is roughly back here. Again, camera, it's a direct in. So camera facing forward and camera facing down. So it's about a 45, maybe a little less. It will not go straight down, so there's no hovering straight above something and getting still shots or video or anything like that. But it doesn't have any clickable positions, so you can pretty much set it wherever, and it feels like it would stay. So it looks like it goes up, but I don't know why you'd want that. So we're just going to leave this down just a tad, because I'll do a review flight here in a little bit. So let's pull out the battery. Come on. Okay. And yes, don't over squeeze this either. This is extremely thin. I feel like I almost broke it a couple times. The battery, despite its size, it appears that it only fills up half of the space inside the box. So it could probably take a bigger battery, and I may try later, if I feel gutsy, to order either another one or a partial or something, wire them together, and see if I can get more battery life. Well, battery life, longer flight time, I guess we'll see. But this is actually pretty solid, and the end of your charger there, it just plugs right into here, and then the USB port into either your portable battery pack or a laptop or anything else that has a USB port that's powered. So, next thing up is we are going to connect this guy to my Nexus 6P, because it's currently the only phone running Nougat, because I'm filming this video on my Google Pixel XL running Android 8. Remember I told you about the compatibility issue. And we'll take it for a test flight. The battery's been charged, so we shouldn't have any problem. I did notice that when it gets low, the drone just starts kind of acting weird. It doesn't have like just shut down and drop or land. It just simply starts acting funny and runs off course. It doesn't respond. It's weird. So we will test this thing out here in a minute, and I will resume the video. Alright, so I decided to move this outside just so I could have a little bit more room to work here. So what we're going to do is we're going to connect this to the phone. Here's my Nexus 6P. So what we're going to do is we're going to power on. So you can see that. We're going to go in here and go into Wi-Fi. I'll show you here, and it should detect Wi-Fi UFO or something similar here, which does not seem to be doing yet. There it is. Okay, so right there at the top, in this case Wi-Fi 720p, blah blah blah, that's this. So yes, no internet access, connecting. Alright, so we're connected, supposedly. Now let's go into the app, which in this case is JY018. That's the official app. Well, I guess you call it official for this guy. It's in here, and we're going to check to see if it works by hitting play. And there you are. So there's the camera. There's me. So camera definitely works. You can see there's a little bit of lag, but in general it's actually pretty good. So we're going to go put this over here and see how we can get it to run. Now, I'm not going to be able to do all the controls on screen, so I need you guys to be able to see the drone itself. But so everything's on. Alright, altitude hold set, gravity mode, I'm sorry, gyroscope mode. Sorry, that was all off camera. But that allows me to, whether you can see that, if I tilt my phone, see the right joystick, that way I can control the drone by doing this rather than thumbstick control. So we're going to use, down here is auto takeoff, emergency stop, and auto land down here. Now I'm going to take this off screen and let's see if we can get this working. I've only had about 5 minutes of playtime with this because I ran the battery down all the way once. Remember, that's about all the time you get out of this. So let's find out how well I do. Let's see if I can get myself on camera here, and we'll go from there. So that's actually not bad. And this is all from phone control. It does seem to almost kind of want to get away from you, but if you get it just about right, see, I have to tilt the phone a lot, so I'm going to have to adjust trim, but in general, it's pretty good. There, so I have it about right now. It still seems to drift backward just a little bit, but it's not terribly loud, but now this is not in headless mode, so depending on, this is all based on current forward orientation. See if I can get it back in view here. Alright, bring it down just a tad. Alright. Yeah, so in general this is not, let's see if I can get this to hover relatively steady here. I gotta figure out my gyroscope here. It's a little harder than it looks, but compared to some of the other generics, including the other one I've recently reviewed, this is definitely much, much easier. And this is definitely something you're going to want to start with. So the auto land works about like this. And let me get it steady here. There we go. guys, thanks for watching. Look out for the next video. It will be more about flight times. I'll actually see how long the battery lasts. See if I can hone my skills a little bit, maybe make the flying experience look a little better. But I'll tell you, I have literally about 5 or 10 minutes worth of flying time with this particular drone. I showed you my generic one in another video. That one, I think I maybe had 20 minutes, but that thing was nearly impossible to fly. This, much easier. And of course, if you go up into the $800 or $900 drone range, the Mavic Pro, Phantom 4, things like that, obviously it gets much easier. They have more features, more safety parts. But then again, I would suggest sticking with something like this. Hone your skills. You can afford to break it. Remember, they give you extra props, and those will be the first things to go. I've crashed this twice now, and nothing. It's dropped. It's gone into a bush, and it hit the ground from about 15 feet up when it lost power. So it's still in one piece. It's a good drone. Till next time, like, subscribe, and if you want to see me review something else, or you have a question or a comment, let me know, and I will try to respond. Thanks for watching.